As a kit basher, I love working with plastic. Unfortunately, that results in a vast collection of plastic sprues. So today, I plan to show you how I turn plastic into wood. Today I'm making fence posts, so I cut a straight piece, but this method will work just as well with curved pieces. I've never tried it, but let me know in the comments if you want me to try making trees like this. Once I had my plastic plank shaped, I used my hobby saw to scrape along the length. Scraping on different angles will result in a different wood grain texture. Now I need to emphasize that this can be dangerous for both you and your hobby saw, so please be careful. With the basic wood texture in place, I use my knife to carve some deeper grain using the existing texture as a guide. This can be a long process, and the longer you spend on it, the better it looks. You can go all out at this point, carving really epic looking knots and cool detail, but none of that is necessary, just as long as you have a nice looking wood grain. If, like me, you're making fence posts or wooden stakes, you will have to carve something into the top of the post. The easiest way to do this is cutting little notches, just trying to break up the shape to make it not look like a piece of sprue. Once again, you can go all out with this bit. Now I find this very fun, but it's easy to get lost in the process and whittle your sprue into nothing. To help with this, I regularly apply light brushes of Tamiya plastic cement. This will take away some of the smaller details, but it helps you see the deeper texture and makes it appear more like naturally worn wood grain. It also allows you to more easily see where you need more detail. As I said earlier, you can go all out on this, putting as much detail or as little as you feel confident doing. At this point, I drilled some holes to convert my sprue into a fence post. I then used my knife to make the holes appear worn and weathered, making sure to fit them into the rest of the existing texture and wood grain. With one last cleanup to make sure everything looked right, it was time to plant this post into a base. And with the help of some barbed wire, my fence post was done. You can see here the second hole is through the very top, giving the impression that this post has broken and further hiding the obvious plastic shape. Here I used a thinner piece of sprue and used it to make a more traditional barbed wire stake. With this one I carved out a pretty cool looking knot texture and have the wire messily wrapped around. I really like this one, the way that the post is fallen and the cut wire hangs down. All I need to do is add some texture paste and paint and we have this. Now I know many people would just use matchsticks for this, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes using real wood, especially on miniature bases, looks too much like wood. I know that sounds dumb, but plastic scenery, especially from Games Workshop, is exaggerated, almost cartoony in style. A style that works really well with their particular heroic scale models. And I think using sprue like this allows you to capture that exaggerated style in a way that you can't do by using matchsticks or balsa wood. But what do you think? My next video should be showing how I painted these guys, so stay tuned for that. 'Cause why not?